Shalom Habarim. Hello, friends. Greetings and welcome, everyone. So, we're waiting for the bus here, right? And while we do so, perhaps we could share some of the most important information that humanity has to receive in order to actually, hopefully, safely and sustainably and prosperously attain and realize and manifest and collectively, legitimately benefit from his highest, absolutely, divinely ordained potential. Now, how does this work? All it is that you, as a human being, whether you're male or female, you have to start practicing what is called self-mastery. Right here, right now, as you listen, you're actually being initiated into the most important discipline. And now this is a discipline that is different than all other disciplines, because this is the discipline that if you practice it a little bit, it makes everything much better and much easier and much safer. Basically, by properly and practically applying wisdom in our lives, right? We are able to live in a way that is sustainably healthy, wealthy, and that gets better and better and is very good increasingly all the time. So, first of all, one must in fact comprehend the reality based on the fact that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and also in the beginnings the Creator geometrized and ordered everything in the universe perfectly aright. So everything in life and in the universe, in this heavens and earth plane, and even human lives, right? And potentially all of them, perfectly progress. And this, of course, is based on how much effort you put into the work of self-mastery and being prudent and living wisely. Though generally speaking, everything in creation is made in a way that makes it perfectly progress. And on the highest levels, it is in fact perfect. Now we can see this in retrospect sometimes when we look at what has happened in our lives over, let's say, the past 20 years or the past 30 years or more. We look at how things have happened, and we see that actually, generally, things have happened to be much better than we expected, actually. Well, that's because of a divine guidance that's at work, okay? Yet, we have to be like magi's or seers. So a magi is someone who sees, who has wisdom, legitimate and true divine wisdom. Okay, wisdom is a principal thing. Actually, the beginning of wisdom is a fear of God. And wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding. Okay? Now, like I said earlier, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and He geometrized. So actually, everything in life, and this is something you must comprehend, okay, dear guests, friends, family, viewers, everything in life has actually been, let's say, divinely pre-programmed to be perfect. And that includes every human life. So what I'm also telling you all is that every one of you has the potential to actually live a life that is very good, that is healthy and wealthy and sustainably very good, and that gets better and better. The key to this is that you make your God-given free will intelligently obedient to a certain amount of divine guidance and wisdom. You see, wisdom is like knowing that there are 4 seasons and being able to live in harmony with them. If you were a farmer, for example, you know there's 4 seasons. You plant your crops at the right time, you take care of them, and you reap good harvests, right? It's really a basic example of that. So the thing is that life has been made systematically, perfectly, cyclically, and this includes every human life. Now, every human life has a simple period of overall human life that starts exactly on and at your birthday, the moment you take your first breath. Now, the moment you take your first breath, upon being born physically, right, that is when your simple overall period of human life begins. And this can range up to 144 years. Yes, it's true. So you must, in fact, first of all, clearly identify the actual real date and time and minute and second and hour preferably and moment of your birthday. The first thing and the first step to self-mastery is quite simply the following. You have to become clearly cognizant and comprehend what life cycles you are in right now. And the first step to that is determining your birthday. Now, of course, do your best, always do your best, and God will do the rest, okay? So now, basically speaking, in order to master our lives and our destiny on an ongoing basis, right? And that is basically by being prudent and wise and making wise decisions right now and all the time and as we go. And so things are sustainably and increasingly good in our lives, right? The first step to self-mastery, like I said, is to identify your current actual real-time position within the cycles of life. And so you have to identify the real accurate time and date of your birthday this year. Because your annual life cycle period of about 365 days starts on your birthday. Now look, there's another detail here. If you were born a certain amount of years ago, and since you were born, a certain amount of years have gone by, and there are a certain amount of leap years that have occurred since your birthday. What has happened now is that the way that your birthday reads on the calendar this year is late by a certain amount of days, as there are a certain amount of leap years since you've been born. So what's actually really important for us to practice self-mastery is that we can clearly identify the accurate date of our birthdays every year. And so if we have had leap years, if there have been leap years since we have been born, like I, for example, I was born in 1988, okay? So there have been about 12 leap years or so since 1988. So therefore there have been 10. So now this year, my birthday is actually 10 days earlier than it reads to be on the calendar traditionally, right? Based on when I was born in 1988. And so you should pay attention to this detail too, because it is important. Now, another thing is this, folks. Here's the bus. First of all, figure out when your birthday is, and then begin to navigate your life cycles. And also, take your time and read and study a book that I'm going to post in the link in the description that is free, called Self-Mastery and Fate with the Cycles of Life. Okay? So be sure to do that.